Tucson, Arizona trip paid off there. I mean, two dominant wins over Berea.
Yeah, and we was because we started out there in the last few games, we started hitting the way that we should have hit, and then it just bled right over into Berea. And sometimes, the harder pitching is a little easier to hit, and than those that, throw a lot of spin and a lot of off-speed stuff. And yet the girls were hitting to the right side, driving it hard, and it really showed. If we can hit like that, we can beat anybody. And we have beat some really good teams, and then we've also struggled against some really good teams. But it's part of the growing process, I tell them that all the time. As freshmen and sophomore, and you grow into your roles, and there won't be, by the time they are, juniors and seniors, we'll be that team to beat. So we're excited about that.
Now, I asked your captains, who are all position players, about your pitching. And, two players in particular, both newcomers to the Tornadoes, Michaela McCoy, who's a transfer, and Allie Grace Hartman, who's a freshman, have just been sensational in a few of their starts. I mean, lights out, at times. Can you talk about those two as well as the rest of your pitching staff and how they're performing?
Sure, absolutely. Michaela is a transfer. She was a JUCO. We went and watched her play and just kind of, we were fortunate to get her here. It's funny, though, working with the pitchers, we even taught her a new pitch. We taught her a drop ball. She never had a drop ball, and yet I just went through all the pitching stats, and yet it ended up being one of her higher percentage pitches, and he just learned it. And but it shows how hard she works at stuff, We go out there and we throw that pitch on our individual times, and so she got better. She always throws hard. Now, I told her I can tell her at times when she's just up there throwing, and then at times when she's a pitcher. When she's actually a pitcher, she's hitting her spots. She's getting the wind. She's getting the ball on the ground or straight up in the air, and then you're a pitcher. You're not just a thrower. She was kind of more of a thrower, and now she's turning into a real pitcher. So she's only a junior, and she's going to have another year. The rest of our pitching staff, like I said, like the rest of our team, is very young. We're freshmen, except for Brianna. She's got a little tendonitis right now. But the rest of them are all freshmen, learning from on the go, on the fly almost, doing a great job. So, we're excited about that.
Now, Coach, I would like to tell people a little bit more about you personally. And you hold a law degree. You're a semi-retired licensed attorney.
That's true.
But somehow you're the head softball coach at Brevard College.
Yeah.
How did you get into coaching?
Well, like most coaches, especially my age, started with my children. I have 4 children, 3 girls that are oldest, and then a son. And of course, we started playing softball, and then we played travel ball. And I have been an attorney, and been very fortunate in my life. I got to own a professional women's fast pitch team, and originally had it in Texas and moved it to Illinois. But learned so much from them professional players, and it's all about their attitude and their work ethic, and so I just really came to love the sport. And so I started doing that as went through as the kids got older, and then they went to college, and then I started coaching college. My older brother, he had passed away when he was 54, and that's when I decided, I'm just going to do what I really want to do, what I really love, and that's when I started coaching collegiately full time. So, life's been good to me, and so I take advantage of that.
Excellent. Now, would like to ask you also about kind of the sport of softball at large.
Yes.
In recent years, especially ESPN has done a great job of putting more and more games and airing like the entire Women's College World Series on its top networks. More and more people are becoming exposed to college softball and realizing it's a very exciting product from a fan perspective.
Very much so.
As someone who, lives and breathes it, can you sell it even further for folks who may not have given it a shot from a spectator perspective?
Well, like with my son, I coached baseball for years too, but softball is not baseball, and it is just a whole different sport. The bases are 60 foot. The fences are 230. The ball, it's fast. So if you want to be entertained, and the games are only an hour and a half, 2 hours, not even. So you want to be entertained in that time. That softball is a sport to watch because usually, even a 3 to 4 runs scored is very exciting inside of 7 innings. So, with the slapping and the pitching has just evolved so much that that ball from 43 feet is coming in at 60 plus miles per hour. That is one hard ball to hit. So, the only thing I can say is if you go watch a good softball game, you're hooked. And especially if you go watch it live. When we were in Arizona, we were talking about that trip. We actually went and watched there's AU, University of Arizona, play, and it's very exciting. And the fans are full. They must have had, probably 3,000-4,000 kids there. So that it's a great sport.
Well, I encourage local fans to come on out to Ives Lamel Field and see Coach's product in action. It is a fun watch. It doesn't last necessarily unless the game goes to extra innings or what have you. It's not like a full day. You can get in and out in a decent time, get home for dinner and all that. But really have a lot of fun and see some exciting sport. Coach, last thing, you came to Brevard in October of 2015. So you've been here a few seasons now, and you've settled in here at Brevard College. Now, as you're talking to recruits, but even bigger, as far as you personally, what makes Brevard College and, this area, such a special place?
The people, and it's just hands down, the people are just fantastic here. Like you say, I came in the middle of the season of 15, and, we had 9 players. Next year, we did that transition from D2 to D3, and we had 6 players. And then, so the work was cut out to get out and recruit, bring the people. If you can get them here and you can visit Brevard, and now with that new turf field, once you get them here, it's a great place. So I love it. So many people, I was only going to come here for a couple of years, and then pretty soon they're here for 4, and then pretty soon they're here for 10. It's just one of those kind of places. So the whole town and the college, the people make the place, and so that's what I sell it on. And we sell our program on those people. What our expectations are. It's faith, family, school, and softball, and it goes in that order. And if you get those kind of kids and that kind of family, it just grows on itself. So.
Well said, Coach. Like so many of us throughout the athletic department, we really love being here. It's a special place, not only to work, but to, go to college, intimate environment, amazing part of the country that people are, saving up their money to vacation at, and we get to live here.
Right.
So a lot of benefits from here at Brevard College. Just one last thing, Coach.
Yes,
you mentioned the turf field. Ives Lamel Family Field is an interesting facility, where it services a number of sports, and that turf field can be a lifesaver at times when there's inclement weather.
Absolutely.
Talk about your facility a little bit, and kind of where it may rank in the world of Division III athletics. So since you travel to these other schools and you probably see some other places.
Well, I can tell you, when the first 2 years that I was here, in our first year we had 2 practices. This was before we had the Lamaze field, but we had 2 practices. That was it. The field is so wet, it rained so much down there that you couldn't get any practice in. And the story was, before I got here, the year before, they couldn't play any home games. They had purposely put everything on a visit game. So it has been a real lifesaver for us. There's a little bit of logistics to it. With all the teams that get to use it, you got to work at it a little bit, but it really has been a lifesaver for us, and it plays so true. It is. I also In my previous life, I owned an indoor football team, and we had the hard rubber turf.
Yep.
Yeah, this is real turf, and it plays like grass, and and yet once you play on it, your kids love it. So.
Well, you mentioned the multiple sports. We're about to have a couple of men's lacrosse players on the program. For fans, if you want to settle in on a Saturday when there's softball, women's and men's lacrosse all going on the same day, you not only will see some great action on the field, but you'll see some amazing operations as the fields transform from one sport to the next. So encourage you to come on out, go to bctornadoes.com, check out the schedules for all the sports, including Coach's softball team, and hope to see folks out at the field. Coach, thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, you bet.
It's been a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing you back in action soon, and good luck this week as USA South Conference play continues on the road for you all.
Very good.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you
Coach.
very much.
All right, head coach Bob Lau of Brevard College softball. And great to have him on the program and go a little deeper into that Brevard College softball program. And we'll shift gears yet again here. Going to talk some lacrosse with Hewitt Farr and Sean Pratt.
How you doing?
Gentlemen, great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, guys, let's start with what happened most recently, which was a big 17-7 win in USA South Conference play at Methodist in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Jack Shade, led the team in scoring with 5 goals. Hewitt, you were a big part of it as well with 4 goals and 2 assists, but really a team effort all the way around. Mm-hmm. Peyton Mooning, a big day in the goal with 14 saves. Big win for you guys in USA South Conference play. I'd like to hear from both of you as far as how that game went for you individually and also for the team.
I think I'd put that on our coach. I think that our game plan going into the game was just fantastic. I mean, we've always had good games against Methodist in the past at least 3 years since I've been here. They've always been a tough competition. We've always wanted to beat them really badly, and I think it just came from the game plan. We came out ready to fight. We went down 1-0 early, but we came back and just shut them out from then on.
Yeah, I don't think Methodist was really expecting us to come out and jump on them like that. They scored 1, and then it was 6-1 by just in the blink of an eye. So it was really good game plan by our coaching, and then also for our team just to kind of wake up and realize that we need to play a full game.
Now, Hewitt, let's stick with you. You lead the team with 26 goals. Jackson McCaig is at 25.
Yeah,
you guys are like
close.
Neck and neck.
Yeah.
You had a career high and also a school record 8 goals earlier this season versus Montreat. Huge performance. You're second in the USA South Conference in goals scored at the moment. Mm-hmm. This season compared to past ones, have you been just feeling it as far as being able to find the back of that net?
It really have, yeah. It's been over the course of 4 years where it's just been adjusting with all the new coaches coming in and out, and this year it just feels right where we want to do everything we can. So as much as I can do, find the back of the net, give the ball up, it's just been working out really well.
Now, Sean, 7 goals, 4 assists on the season, and you've been a big part of the offense as well. Hewitt and Jackson, as far as a duo goes.
Crazy.
Can you talk about just how you've seen a lot of lacrosse over the years.
Yep.
I can't imagine too many teams having sort of like a 1-2 punch like that. Can you talk even further about those two?
I mean, I've been playing lacrosse for so long. I've been playing with a whole bunch of different guys. I've never met 2 people that were able to play. It's almost like they're the same person, like playing together. I mean, I've played on state championship teams and stuff like that, and they're insane. It's like one person will be dodging up this side of the field, and there's no way they can even see the backside guy, and he's able just to feed it to him and score. It's crazy.
Now, you can't do all that scoring without an effective defense.
Correct.
Which and ultimately an effective goalkeeper
Oh,
in
yeah.
Peyton Mooney.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, earlier this season, Mooney even produced an assist with a
That's
a
right.
deep shot
To this guy right
to
here.
this guy right here.
Yeah.
Let's break down that first.
That was crazy. I remember we were a man down, and I just remember Jackson yelling to the defense in Mooney, Mexico, which is our where you just throw the ball on the other side of the field, try to just get it out of our defensive end. And I remember him throwing it, and I just was tracking it the whole way. And as soon as it was getting to the point where I was getting ready to catch it, I was like, I'm about to get blown up. Someone is going to come out and just cream me. But as soon as I caught it, nobody was there, and it was just an easy fake and finish. It was perfect.
Now, Sean, how rare is that in lacrosse to see that sort of
I don't
play?
think I've ever seen it before.
Maybe even like a once in a lifetime
Yeah,
type
absolutely. It's see an 80-yard pass.
Yeah.
That's
That
crazy.
was crazy.
thing. Wild. Well, I would like viewers to get to know you guys even further. And Sean, you're from the state of North Carolina, from Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
Charlotte Catholic High School.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about your upbringing and in particular how it relates to you getting into lacrosse?
Let's see. I started playing lacrosse 6th grade. Loved it ever since. My sister actually introduced me to the game because she was dating a guy. She's 7 years older than I am. She was dating a guy in high school that played on the lacrosse team. She brought us to a couple games. My little brother and I ended up falling in love with the game. Kept going, whatever. High school, had a fantastic time. I was really just wanting to play soccer in college. And then Brevard, Michael Markland, my freshman year, was like, hey, I saw that you played lacrosse at Charlotte Catholic. We're a pretty good team in North Carolina. How would you like to come out and play for us? I was like, I would love it, absolutely. 'Cause I had no real passion to play further the game in college, and then that kind of just brought me back to loving the game even more. Yeah.
Excellent. Love those sort of stories. Now, Hewitt, meanwhile, is from Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I don't know if you realize it, but there's a men's basketball player from Alaska. So he has you beat,
Yeah.
But I can't think of too many places too different than Brevard, North Carolina, than Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Before we get into your background in the sport of lacrosse, how did you come from Santa Fe, New Mexico to
Little
find
old
ourselves
Brevard.
today
Yeah.
here in Brevard, North
It
Carolina?
was a weird process. I didn't really know. It was my senior year, and I wanted to play college lacrosse, but there's no way to get any sort of, any looks to New Mexico. It's not a hotbed for lacrosse or anything like that. So I put my name onto a NCSA. It's a recruiting website online, and they have a bunch of agents that will make a profile for you, and they send your videos and everything to coaches who are also on that program. So that's how I got looked at, from Michael Markland and Kevin Anderson. They found me on there and emailed me, and then had a visit. I was also being recruited by some other SAC teams at the time, but Brevard was the one.
Now, you both are part of a very large senior class.
Yes.
One of the largest, I've ever witnessed on, in any form of college athletics. You guys have been through a wild journey, to get
Say the
yourself to
least.
here now. Two-part question. One, how important is it that you as seniors get it done this year, to cap this thing off? And then two, how strong is the brotherhood of you seniors having, been here for so long together?
I'll answer the first part if you want to answer the second part.
Sure.
I think the first part is just we want to leave a stone where recruits can come in and they can see the hard work that we put in for at least the past 2 seasons, because our first 2 years they were not that great. So I just want them to be able to see the hard work that we're putting in, the dedication that we have, and the love of the game that we have, and the commitment to each other. You're always performing for the guy next to you. That's what we say it all the time. You're always performing for the guy next to you. You do everything for the guy next to you. So I think that's the main thing, is just leave a lasting impression for further future generations to come.
Well said.
Yeah, and then just to add a little bit onto that, I want to make some history for the people coming in.
Absolutely.
You don't have to go to a big name school to make history anywhere. You can come to Brevard and get stuff done and make it you just have a great time while performing at a very high level. So, and then the brotherhood aspect. yeah, we've been together for 4 years, and it's just like either like rooming together, being suite mates together. We're always together, and yeah, we just have such a good chemistry with each other.
You mentioned the game plan that the coaching staff of Jim Fritz and Arnaud Olivier put together for the win against Methodist. I'd like you both to expound a little further on those two as coaches and how important they've been this season to, guiding you guys in the right direction.
Yeah, Coach Fritz is an amazing man. I am so happy he was able to recruited to come to this program and help us start it back up essentially. And then Coach Arno, he's awesome too. He's a great not only he's a great coach, but you can go to him on a personal level. Same with Coach Fritz, and just they'll be there for you and they'll give you what you need to succeed. And that's what really they care most about.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me is be able to go to a coach after practice or you're having a tough time or something like that and just talk to him man on man just as a person. And he's able to, give you insights on certain things. You don't always have to talk about lacrosse all the time. And I feel like that's what we've been missing the past couple seasons, have been somebody who, not a friend, but a mentor in a way, where we can go to them, we could tell them about our problems and stuff like that, and they'll find resources for us to fix those problems.
Excellent. Now, you're both seniors. You'll be graduating pretty soon here.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Would like to hear from each of you what your major is, what your degree is going to be in, and I know you're living in the moment now as far as, finishing up your senior year and playing lacrosse, but, have you thought about what's next?
My major is business and organizational leadership, and honestly, I have kind of a plan for what's next, but it's not set in stone. It's still pencil written.
Not a bad thing at this
No,
point.
no,
to keep it in pencil, right?
Yeah. And then, my major is business and organizational leadership with a minor in criminal justice. Same with Pratt here. I'd kind of just going with the flow. I think that's the best way to kind of keep a mindset. Looking for jobs, but also not trying to set myself to one expectation, something that will kind of come to me, or I have to go find that and make it the best.
Cool. Good stuff, guys. Well, congrats on a great career for both of you here at Brevard. Appreciate you guys, on this long, strange trip of men's lacrosse, during your 4 years, finding yourself now. But really, I get the feeling that, all the hard work is starting to pay off, and it certainly did this past weekend with that 17-7 win. Now, last thing, you got a road game this week, right back into USA South Conference action at William Peace. I know it's early in the week, so, all the game planning still might be in flux. But what do you guys feel like is the key to keeping this momentum and, getting a win at William Peace?
Keep doing it together. I feel like at the beginning of the year we were playing too much individual lacrosse, and now we're bringing in the whole team component of it, playing together, winning together, losing together, all that things.
Yeah, kind of after every game, we get excited, we won. But then we, as soon as Monday starts, it's kind of okay, what's the next assignment? Yeah, William Peace. Okay, so we kind of all have it in our brains, looking at some film here and there until we have it an official film with our coaches. But we're all thinking about it and we're getting ready for it.
Love it. Well, certainly sounds like things are coming together for men's lacrosse. It's going to be exciting watching these, final few weeks of USA South Conference play and see where it leads us. Congrats again on all your success thus far, and we'll be following every step of the way from here on out. And thanks for joining Tornado Talk tonight. It was great to get to know you guys better. All right. From Brevard College men's lacrosse, Sean Pratt and Hewitt Farr, two of the seniors from that big senior class that is working hard this season to finish up strong, and fruits of their labor this past weekend, a 17-7 win in USA South Conference play at Methodist. Well, it's been a great edition of Tornado Talk this Monday, and we're here every Monday night. I hope you can either join us here at Dugan's Pub or wherever you may be tuning in from. I do want to thank all of our guests this evening. Head baseball coach Sean Walsh. We had baseball student athletes Ben Melton and Cross Robinson. Those two just pitched lights out as starting pitchers this weekend, and congrats again to the Tornadoes knocking off 11th ranked Huntington this past weekend in baseball. We had softball captains Olivia Paulden, Mari Cook, and Brittany Franks. We spoke with softball head coach Bob Lau, and men's lacrosse seniors Hewitt Farr and Sean Pratt wrapped up the show for us tonight. Want to thank our sponsors, Arby's, Zaxby's, Holiday Inn Express, Hampton Inn, Ingles, Mission Sports Medicine, Comporium, Pepsi, and the home of Tornado Talk, Dugan's Pub. Want to wish all the Tornadoes good luck this week. Many of the spring sports are on the road this week. Softball, as we talked to Mari, Brittany, and Olivia, as well as Coach Lau. They are at Maryville on Wednesday. Track and field heads to Rock Hill, South Carolina for the Winthrop Adidas Invitational. Baseball is at Pfeiffer for a 3-game series Friday through Sunday. Men's lacrosse, as we spoke with Hewitt Farr and Sean Pratt, is at William Peace. Softball has another road game on Saturday at Agnes Scott. Women's lacrosse is on the road as well. Saturday and Sunday, cycling is continuing its road portion of its schedule. They're at Clemson if you want to head down to Clemson and see some cycling road racing. And competitive cheer and dance is heading to Gaffney, South Carolina for a competition. Now, there are a couple home events you can check out this week. All of the tennis variety. Come on out on Wednesday, men's and women's tennis versus Maryville. That's 1 p.m. at the McCoy Tennis Complex. And also on Saturday, more action Saturday afternoon at the McCoy Tennis Complex. Hope you can join us there and see the tennis teams in action. Be sure to visit the official website of Brevard College Tornadoes. That's bctornadoes.com. Follow the Tornadoes on Twitter and Instagram at BC Tornadoes. And be sure to like the Brevard College Athletics Facebook page. You can also find Brevard College Athletics on YouTube as well as SoundCloud. Thanks for all who made tonight's edition of Tornado Talk possible. We'll see you next week. Go Tornadoes.